Hey everybody, this is Jim Grisanzio from the Oracle Groundbreakers team. We are here in Pune, India. This is the fourth stop on the great Yatra tour here. And I'm here with Basheer Khan. Basheer, welcome.
Thank you, Jim. Good to meet you here.
Very nice, yes. Basheer, you are an ACE director.
Yes,
and you are the CEO of your own company as well.
Yes.
And okay, so we just actually met here on this tour. So let's start off with some of your first impressions. You've been on this tour before, but what's this tour like right now? Just give me a sense of the experience so far.
I was here last year. That was my first yatra. But what I'm seeing this year is the amount of participation is doubled and in some cases tripled. And the enthusiasm and the amount of interactions that we're getting and the questions we're getting from the audience has been outstanding. So it's great to be here, and I look forward to doing all the remaining cities here.
So you're doing, you're going to be up to Hyderabad, and then you're leaving after that Hyderabad, right?
That is correct.
So that's 6.
My original intent was to do all 10 cities, but there's some client issues I need to go back and take care of. I look forward to doing that next year. But this year I started out in Chennai, and then we went to Bangalore, and after that we went to Ahmedabad. And now here we are in Pune, and after that we're going to Mumbai tomorrow, and then after Mumbai we're going to go back to Hyderabad, and that's where I leave the tour.
That's this breakneck tour. And what's also very interesting about this is each city has a really different personality.
It has, and we started noticing that last year itself. It's very unique to each city, but there's an underlying theme that we have seen consistently across. There's passion for Oracle, and there's a lot of interest with Oracle now transforming to going to the cloud. What does it mean to me as a developer, me as a DBA, and how can we become more relevant in the cloud? So in fact, my last year, the 2 presentations were bridging the skills gap. So no matter who you are, what you've been doing, how do you make yourself relevant in the cloud, what skills you need to learn, and that was standing room only sessions. Everybody participated. They were very interested in that. And then for the managers and those who are actually transforming and moving to the cloud, my second paper last year was building a roadmap. How do you start from where you are, see where you want to go, and how do you actually make it happen? Both those sessions were well received. So when I was on the Yatra last year, I asked the community as to what they'd like to see this year, and there were specific topics they brought up. So this year during the Yatra, I'm presenting the integration cloud, how it can really help businesses not just interface data, but orchestrate processes, build these apps that help you interact with the interfaces. So that session has been well received. And my second paper is Oracle Jet has become quite popular, and there's ways in which you can build using best practices to make your applications very user-friendly, great user experience. So that's my second paper. And both these sessions, I don't just use slides, I actually connect to the real cloud instances, show them a demo, and that's always a draw. Many times if it's just slides, people don't really connect, but when you're actually able to demonstrate product in each session, it's been huge. So I'm thoroughly enjoying this.
So what have some of the reactions been? Give me a sense of some of the conversations you've been having, some of the interactions.
Yeah, that's what makes these sessions very cool. In some cities more than others, the audience participate. They don't even wait till the last slide where I ask questions. They start asking questions up front. How do I use this? How can I get access to this? So I've been promoting the free availability of Oracle Cloud Services. Every session, every audience has been receiving that very well. They really like the fact that Oracle is sharing the cloud services for free, up to 3,500 hours for 30 days. And many of them have already told me they've signed up and they're starting to use these services. So that's very cool. The biggest worry some of the team members have is, okay, when the cloud comes in, Oracle is going to do most of the job, especially with PaaS and the database. And we've been consistently telling them it's not that Oracle is taking away your jobs. Oracle is actually freeing you up so you can do more value-added work. And specifically for the DBAs, my message is, you don't need to necessarily focus on the administrative aspect, which Oracle will take care of. What you should be focusing on is the analysis and the architecture of these database services, and that's been a big hit with many of the DBAs I spoke to.
So the message is resonating then.
Yes, it definitely is. I grew up here. I started out in India and in '96.
From Chennai?
I was from, I was born and brought up in Chennai. In 1996, I moved to the US. So it's good to come back and give back to the community here. There's a lot of anxious developers, DBAs, eager to learn. It's a great community. They just need this help from speakers like me, others who fly in and devote their time to volunteer and train and communicate to these developers. They really appreciate it. You could see that in every place that you go. The best part is the program is starting to deliver. When we first came, there were fewer attendees, but then word of mouth, they talk to their colleagues, and it's just grown. And in fact, today when we had the general session, standing room only. That's never happened.
It was full. It was full.
That has never happened, and it's great. And I look forward to doing this in many more years to come.
So one of the things we're talking about here is how to get these developers, a lot of them are students as well, involved in various programs like the Groundbreaker Ambassador Program and the Oracle ACE Program, Java Champions Program. So we're talking about these programs to educate these guys, get them involved. You're an ACE director. So how would, particularly a student, someone who's young, how would they get started if they really want to become an ACE? There's multiple tiers in the program. So talk about, for a few minutes, how you get started in this.
Absolutely. So before I do that, first I'd like to commend you on the session that you do at every location. You share with the attendees the need for community building. You explain the different programs that are available. That is huge. We didn't have that last year, so this year when you share that, already we see a lot of interest.
You mean what I do?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Your presentation has been pretty good. I've sat through a couple of those, and the attendees are engaged, and that gives them an introduction to what is possible, right? So that's the first data point. The second data point is across the board, all of us, our message to them is communicate, learn, interact with others, make friends. And more importantly, at each location, there's a need for a lot of volunteers, and we've been requesting the attendees to become that. And there have been some great success stories where people who were attendees have now become volunteers, have become speakers, and that's the beginning of the community building, right? So that message has been delivered pretty well. So coming back to your question, in terms of someone starting out who are students, let's take my own example. I started out as a developer. At a point in life, became a DBA. And then in '96, I started focusing more on applications. But every step of the way, my intent has always been whatever I know, I'd like to share, be it with my customers, with my peers, with the community. So I started out by presenting papers at whichever opportunity I got, doing some webinars, writing white papers, publishing them in a blog, tweeting about little things, tips and techniques. So these are all ways in which you can give back. So the basis or the foundation for community building is giving back. Start with whatever you know. One thing I always tell everyone is, there's no point keeping the information with you, because probably in 3 to 6 months, it's already stale. There's a new technology coming up. So always share what you know. And in sharing, you also learn. Because when I say something and there's the other person has used it or has asked me a question, I get surprised many times, and I have to go looking to see what's the answer to that. So that process is what starts building communities. So start volunteering. Start communicating what you know in whatever mechanism. Some of our ACE directors have written books. So there's many forums or channels through which information can be shared. And there's no dearth of people looking for knowledge. And they're just hungry for it. We just need to share it, right? So that's the starting point. Once you do that, it's automate. You'll start getting recognized. You'll start having followers. You'll start seeing people communicating with you, asking for more. Fortunately for me, when I started doing this, Oracle themselves recognized it, and they nominated me to be an ACE director. I got selected to be an ACE director for middleware. I'm probably one of the early ones who became an ACE director, and then in a few years, they introduced the ACE director for applications. Again, Oracle nominated me, and probably one of the few ACE directors who got nominated twice. But it was a great feeling to be Uh, First, you're sharing all this selflessly. I got involved with the Oracle Applications Users Group. I was presenting, attending the conferences, helping them organize those groups. Gave me a lot of experience with how to build communities and create organizations that prevail and in delivering all this knowledge. So that process has now become easier. Oracle need not be the one nominating you to the ACE program. Your peers could nominate, you yourself could nominate, and there are many tiers to the ACE program now. You could nominate yourselves to be an ACE associate, you can nominate yourselves to be an ACE, or an ACE director, so depending on the level at which you're operating. Now, level does not necessarily mean how much you know, because most of us probably know enough to do our jobs, and some of us may know enough that we can share. The nomination is successful only if you have communicated and shared with the community and, given selflessly. That is the bottom line, and that's what the program is looking for. Evangelists, folks who are willing to help communities. Oracle wants to recognize and honor them, and that's has been the underlying theme. There are many people who approach me, how do I become an ACE? My message to them is, just do what you're good at, but take it a notch up by sharing what you do. And it's a matter of time, then you'll be part of the ACE program. At every event, at every location that I go to, I've been telling the attendees, it'd be a great feeling to have at least a handful of them either become part of the speaker panel that is attending these events, so that way you are a speaker now, you're starting to contribute, or even more happier if one or more of them become ACEs or ACE directors who will be part of a community. So that's my wish to all attendees.
And there's about between 450 or 500 or so ACEs, 20 of them are from here in India, so that, considering the size of this particular market and the number of engineers here, there's room for huge growth in this country.
Absolutely, I truly believe there's immense potential here. It's not that the developers or DBAs don't know. It's just that they have not taken that leap to start sharing, and it's one of the reasons I keep coming back, because I do see the potential here in India. And I just want to encourage them. I think for most of them, it's a little bit of reluctance. They are not really sure. They feel uncomfortable or uncertain whether or not they have it in them. So we have been trying to break that barrier and encourage them. There's a tremendous amount of women in IT here in India. I was pleasantly surprised in many locations that the women who attended were on par with the men, which wasn't the case last year. So indeed, there's humongous potential here. Potentially, you could have many more ACEs than the rest of the world, given the population, but yet it's such a small number, and we're hoping to change that.
Okay, let's do a quick plug for your company. What do you do?
I founded a company called Knex Technologies. My sole purpose was, beyond doing the volunteer work, there's many customers who are migrating to the cloud or want to get to the cloud and they don't know how. So Knex Technology only focuses on implementing cloud applications. Now, as part of the cloud applications, which is, as you know, the SaaS components, we also introduce PaaS, Platform as a Service components that will either help customers connect their applications with other applications using Oracle Integration Cloud, which is one of my papers. And then also we have uniquely built a number of extensions. What are extensions? So basically, when somebody is using an application, their business needs some functionality that Oracle has not built or is never going to build. It could be a small sliver of automation that's needed for the business to run. I'll give a classic example. One of our customers was using eBusiness Suite for 25 plus years. They could not migrate to the cloud because they needed a module called Property Manager, which was available in eBusiness Suite, which is what they use. But when they look at the cloud portfolio, it does not have it. So after double checking with the Oracle development team, whether it's on the roadmap, because we never want to compete with Oracle, we want to guide the customer to go based on the roadmap. It was confirmed that that module is never going to be part of the cloud applications functionality. So our team built it. We have an amazing team that's trained by Oracle that builds these extensions using PaaS. So we built that as a bolt-on, and now that customer was able to migrate to the cloud seamlessly. One other challenge they had 25 years of historical data. Now, we can't keep all that historical data in Oracle Cloud. It'll impede refreshes, it'll impede upgrades, huge amount of history. That's no value of moving forward, but the users want to go back and take a look at some historic transaction. So again, using PaaS, we built a transaction history module where they can go and query any of the historic transactions. It coexists side by side with the SaaS applications, and they're very happy to migrate this. So my company implements Oracle Cloud applications. In fact, right now we're implementing for an international customer across 14 different countries. Very exciting project. We're hoping to go live within 20 weeks. And we implement applications. We integrate applications using PaaS. We build extensions to complete the functionality only in cases where Oracle is unable to do so. So that's all we do. And it's been a great ride.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I have a great team. You know, I can stand here and say all this, but my team is truly backing me up. We have team members sitting in USA, we have team members in Malaysia, we have team members in India. So this is, the important thing is this. Even though we have a company, even there's a degree of volunteerism, taking care of the cloud ecosystem is what I truly believe in. At the end of the day, I'm a cloud evangelist. I want to make sure that cloud install base increases, every customer is happy, because when they move to the cloud, unlike purchasing an on-premise license which sticks with them, the customers can decide not to renew the cloud license. So it's very important that we make sure the customers are happy, things are done right, they don't get a bad experience with cloud. So as part of that, I have, even today, an open, a standing invitation to any customer who's having trouble, they're unable to use the cloud properly. I'm personally willing to invest up to a week of my time to go out there, see what the issue is, put it back on track, and just step back, let them continue.
That's quite an offer.
It is. It is open to any customer, and we have been successfully, some of the customers have successfully leveraged our offer. We've already worked with about 7 different customers who have leveraged our offer, and we're able to get their cloud applications back on track.
Cool. Excellent. Well, it's really great to have you on the tour, Basheer. And we got a few more stops here, and we're meeting with hundreds of developers. We're actually right now today at the Oracle campus in Pune. And that's it. So we'll see you guys for more interviews soon. And be good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.